Hi Pisces, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your deep love read. So normally those of you who join me here, if you're new, welcome. My name is Jackie. For those of you who typically tune in, you watch my weekly messages having to do with the tower and astrology, and I hit all areas of life. This is going to be a relationship only, a deep love read. We're going to start off with those of you who are a couple, those of you who are in separation, and those of you who are single. So I'm going to timestamp in the description box below, so you don't have to hang out for the whole thing if you don't want to. It's totally up to you, but let's get right into things. I just wanted to preface it with that because usually you guys, most of you are used to me pulling in the astrology. I'm not going to be doing that this time on purpose. This was requested, and I do know the astrology can get confusing for some of you. So for those of you who requested it, here we go. Let's begin. So we're going to start with our Pisces friends who are coupled. Okay, so let's pull a couple of tarot they could speak of oracles, wisdom of the oracle, just to kind of get a little lay of the land, see what's going on for our Pisces friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, round and round, round and round. So some sort of situation, you guys can see this here, yeah. Round and round would indicate some sort of cyclical nature going on within the relationship. To the sea, don't worry about the past. Don't think too much about the future. Just sort of stay in the moment. I love this energy for the month of October because we have everybody and their mother coming out of retrograde. We have Mercury, we have Jupiter, we have Pluto, we have Saturn. Everybody's coming out of retrograde. So feeling this energy of sort of congestion, feeling like wanting to move forward in a particular way, but there's something that almost feels like stifling, something that's sort of like, it's feeling this metaphorical harness that's kind of getting in the way of things. So just kind of don't do anything right now. But there is this idea of round and round. So some of you may be in this situation where you're coupled. Maybe you got back together with somebody who you were with, and then you guys broke up and you got back together and that kind of thing, that round and round sort of thing. Or it could just be you guys have been together forever and this situation just keeps coming up over and over again. It's like same old thing. When is this thing going to be addressed once and for all? Admit your vulnerabilities and nurture yourself first. Ooh, what a nice card to get for our Pisces friends. You guys can see that. What a nice energy to get for Pisces, right? You guys are a very sacrificial energy, right? Talk about this all the time on in my videos. You guys are that sacrificial kind of energy. And I know some cross watchers may be like, hell no, they're not. Look, it depends on what else is aspecting the person's chart, right? Nobody is all of anything. We all have all of the signs in us. Okay, so it's so important to understand your birth chart, but I digress. Let's get into the energies here. So for clarification for the rounds and rounds and for the to the sea, let's pull a couple of energies for clarifiers there. Okay, we have the moon. So the moon does indicate some sort of a sense of disappointment. Some of you may be feeling in this space of, I don't know if the relationship's actually going to work out in the long term. Some of you may be even in this space where you sort of low-key, maybe not so low-key, making a decision actively about the relationship. But this has to do with disappointment, feeling very let down, right? Having to do with something, right? This round and round, you sort of in this space of not doing anything. You're thinking emotions, right? Moon is emotions. And you're thinking about, is this the right thing for me, right? Meaning for you. As far as me being able to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure, right? Because the moon rules Cancer, that fourth house energy. So some of you may be in this weird space having to do with you may be having this argument round and round. Where are we going to live? Where are we going to move to? Right? The round and round argument about how are we going to address the situation going on at home. Some of you are going to resonate with it quite literally like that as a direct moon energy. If you're not resonating with it as the disappointment, some of you might be like, check, check. I'm sort of dealing with both of those things. Now, the energy clarifying, nurture yourself and admit your vulnerabilities. We have the Three of Pentacles, which is a great card. I mean, this is a Mars and Capricorn energy, which is all about collaborating, coming together to build, right? But I feel like Pisces, I'm feeling a very global energy. What I'm like very macro. What I mean by that is, especially with this Three of Pentacles energy, Mars and Capricorn. Mars is that warrior energy that really wants to make sure you're on the right path. And Capricorn is all about, it's all about work, right? But it's all about your long-term goals. You know, are you putting yourself in this situation, in this relationship where do you feel like you're working very effectively at reaching your long-term goals together as a couple? And you may be feeling in this sort of back and forth, you know, is this the right thing? Is this not? You realizing how very vulnerable you do feel when it comes to something having to do some area within this relationship. So it could be fear of abandonment, right? There could be, it could be, right? For others of you, it's straight up fear of intimacy. Maybe you've been hurt several times before and you're just like, I don't know how to even really navigate this, but you want to be in the relationship, but you're not sure how exactly to best navigate this energy. So why don't we pull a Celtic cross spread and see what other kind of stuff comes to the surface for you guys to work with. Food for thought, always food for thought, guys, right? And if this doesn't resonate, first of all, don't try to make it fit. And second of all, check out your rising sign, moon sign, and your Venus sign for the most complete messages. Remember, your moon is your emotions. Your rising sign is how you greet the world and how the world greets you. It informs your day-to-day experience, your physical body, super important to know. Your sun gives some information about your career, what's going on with the money, what's going on with the long-term goals, as well as your ego consciousness. And your Venus energy does indicate how you approach love, how you approach money, and how you approach sense of self, right? This idea of self-esteem and how you feel in a situation. So doesn't it make sense that you should check all of those positions, right? All of those, not only the signs, but also the house placements, if you know them. Lots of free birth chart calculators online for those of you who want to check that out. Okay. So we have temperance being clarified by the tower. So some of you are going to be in a space, let's say interpretation number one. Temperance, first of all, is about empathy. What do you need? What do I need? What does the relationship need? What's necessary? This is finding a balance after what an otherwise pretty difficult time period, right? Very nice energy. In numerology, it's the Hierophant, which is the marriage card, which is the important relationship card, which is the energy that incites the desire to want to cultivate an important relationship while looking at expectations and the need to conform to certain things, right? So that's what the temperance is, right? But it's working with the tower. Tower is Mars, straight up Mars, right? And Mars puts up these red flags. And I feel like a lot of you in relationship is sort of getting these feelings, you guys are so intuitive anyway, right? You guys are 12th house energy, getting these feelings, these intuitive vibes that something isn't sitting right with you, right? Now, for some of you, the tower could indicate an internal tower moment. I always have to say that, right? I mean, because it can happen. It depends. This is a general message. What is an internal tower moment? It's sitting down with yourself in the most honest way, brutally honest way. No, never comfortable, right? Who likes to look at their stuff? To a degree. And then we have, I don't really want to look at that, right? Well, the tower moment is like, I'm going to look at all of it. I'm going to look underneath the bed. I'm going to look around the corner. I'm looking at all my stuff, because if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to keep getting what I got. And I want, you know, and here in this relationship, I feel like a lot of you are in this space where it's like, all right, it's time. It's time for me to sit down and be more balanced in this situation. And I have to look at, where do I get in my own way in relationship? Because I want this relationship to work. And you're like, you may be in the space of recognizing patterns within yourself, which is so healthy. Some of you may be experiencing this with your partner, where your partner is just like, I want to change, Pisces. I want to be in this relationship with you, but we can't keep doing this, right? That is what I would hope for. Hopefully, many of you are resonating with that. If you're not resonating with that, Pisces, this relationship is over. And what I mean by that is, when it's working with the temperance, it's like, you know what? I've tried to temper the situation. I've tried to sit and listen to what they need, have them hear what I need, all of that. Try to have that sort of alchemical experience so that we could be on the same playing field, but it's not working. And there comes a point where we can easily feel like, damn it, we're trying to fit a circle in a square and this isn't working. You know, it could certainly just be that kind of energy. Now, clarifying this energy for, nurture yourself and admit your vulnerabilities, and this idea of focusing on the future, we have the Ace of Swords and the Justice energy. And the Ace is always indicative of brand new, but the Ace also does indicate focusing on getting over anything that has been past obstacles for you that you've experienced in relationship. And Ace is brand new. It really is. And focusing on fairness. Justice is 7th house energy, which is relationship. This is a Libra energy, which is ruled by Venus. And what does it mean, right? There's a reason why the glyph is the scales for this energy, because it's about looking at how well are my emotional needs being met? How equitable is everything having to do with not only money, but communication, intimacy, sharing, being there, being connected in the relationship. There's truth needs to be sort of exercised here, right? And I do feel like a lot of you are in this space though of, I'm just feeling very strongly like about, I'm going to take a shot in the dark here, okay? I'm really not a shot in the dark, but it's interpretation that I'm getting. This round and round energy, you guys have been here before. You've been here before. You took a break, you were with other people, whatever. Now you're coming back and you're realizing if we do what we did last time, we're going to get the same thing that we got last time, which was not a good thing. And it's this idea of wanting to build and wanting to create, wanting to get past obstacles. But this idea of needing to look at what's fair, what's not fair needs to be really grabbed onto. If you're resonating with what I just said, I feel like this is your reading. I feel like this is your reading. Now, when we're talking about round and round, this could also just be, again, energetically, right? Where nobody has really gone anywhere, but you were noticing that there was this sort of disconnect within the relationship, and it's like same thing over and over again, but wanting to get in front of that once and for all, right? Wanting to get in front of that. But that closing card, Justice, are your emotional needs being met? Are theirs? Are things equitable? Are things fair? Very important to understand for a Pisces, right? You guys are that hangman energy. You guys are ruled by Neptune. And that's what's tricky, right? Because Neptune's a very smoke and mirror energy. It really is. It's not your fault. I mean, it's just like the natural predisposition to want to romanticize things and want to allow yourself to go there and dream and be romantic and be giving and be very sacrificial. You don't want to think bad things about people. You don't want to. You just don't want to. You don't want to. Well, this is funny. I'm going to drop the screen down because 2 came out for this first position, which is you. So I'm going to keep them. We got the Page of Swords, which is hearing from somebody or having some sort of new mode of communication. Some of you, maybe it's a new cycle. Page is always a new cycle of communicating. So maybe it's like literally turning over a new leaf in the way that you guys communicate. Some of you might even be deciding that you want to go to therapy. This is in your position though, Scorpio. Oh, maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio, Pisces. I say Scorpio. The Page of Swords is also working with the Knight of Pentacles. Very interesting because what's being discussed here is what feels off. You cannot not see something that you feel like is missing in this relationship. And whatever it is, maybe it's the way they communicate with you. It has to do with intimacy. Do you feel like you're being considered enough? Do you feel like your emotional needs are being met? Again, going back to that, the Knight of Pentacles really could be keeping it real. Because you guys are like, Pisces is a fun energy. Because you guys are the 12th house of escapism. So it's like creativity. You guys like to go to shows. You like to party. You like to, maybe a little too much sometimes, but I digress, right? You like to have a good time. Maybe somebody's a little boring for you. Hate to say it, but that is what the Knight of Pentacles can mean. And because you're in this space, I feel like you're feeling like this about somebody else that you're trying to get into a relationship with as a couple, like right now, or that you're in a relationship with, where you feel like something's off. Now, it doesn't have to be boring. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe it's the way they communicate. Maybe they're not sensitive enough. Maybe they're a little too sharp around the edges, whatever the case is. But it's like these realizations are hitting you right now. So that's what's showing up for you. So let's see what the challenge is in all of this. Yeah, the Six of Pentacles. So for a lot of you, well, let's just get it out of the way. I mean, a lot of you might be going through some sort of family stuff having to do with inheritance, having to do with insurance payout, right? That Six of Pentacles it can have to do with some sort of family investment. So maybe there's some sort of discrepancy over how some sort of family property or family investment is rolling out, some sort of inheritance situation. This could also have to do with the challenge having to do with money. Maybe this person that you're with, maybe they need more money. They need for you to supplement their income, you know, regardless of sort of whatever situation you're in. But there could be this idea of money, right? But this is the challenge where it's like, I have your back, you have mine. And there seems to be some sort of challenge that has to do with that area. Maybe somebody needs financial help. Maybe you need financial help. But it's bothering you. Like, I feel like there is something is deeply bothering you that has to do with that. The ability for everybody to show up equally. Basis of the situation, the recent past. Situation going on right now is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, well, look, I mean, I see you guys moving forward in this, regardless of whatever might be troubling you. Yeah, I mean, let's go into the recent past. Beautiful, right? We have the Ten of Cups energy, being happy. There's like beautiful family energy, contentment energy, recognizing the benefits of security, of being in a solid relationship. This is a beautiful energy for communication, for romance, for just deepening of connection. Really nice energy. But here you are, though, like something happened here and you feel like something is missing right now. And there's this element of like the challenge is feeling like they have your back, or that there's, you know, you guys are working at something totally together. You know, in the basis of the situation, we have your ruler, we have Neptune, the hangman. It's like pressing the pause button and saying, all right, hold on. If I stay in this, am I going to end up sacrificing again what it is that I want, need, and desire? And this is a tricky energy because I hate to say it, even though it's terrible and you don't like it, it can be easy for you to get into a situation that's easy for you to get into, this sort of sacrificial kind of energy where you feel like you have to sacrifice ultimately what it is that you want, need, and desire in order to make something work. But you're like really about, hold on a second, let me press the pause button. I don't know if I'm willing to do that again this time. But at the same time, that's the basis of the situation, right? But keep in mind, Neptune also rules you, and you guys rule the idea of fantasy and dreaming. We have this Ten of Pentacles. So some of you may be in this space of dreaming about kind of getting married, even though you're feeling these issues, where you might feel like, oh, well, if we get married, it'll be different. If we can get married, things will be more equitable. Or you might be dealing with an energy like that, where an energy sort of wants to get married to you for security, or you want to get married to somebody else for security, because the Ten of Pentacles is about maturation. It's about maturity and deepening of, yes, connection, but also, you know, because it's Pentacles, having more money. So some of you may be sort of in that space where you're confused about, should I ask them to marry me? Should I marry them? Should we move in together? Should we buy that business? Should we buy that house? That's that Ten of Pentacle energy. It's taking what you guys have now and sort of growing it. It's maturing it, right? But there's confusion around that for you right now. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is the advice card from Spirit for you to look at, which is Ten of Swords. Is about looking at the history of something. And we know that there's a history here because we got round and round. So you have to look at the common denominators and all of that. But hands down, this does indicate something needs to end. This is the end of a challenging time period that, even though it might be painful to end it, it might be. It could be accompanied by a bunch of disappointment and all of that. You're going to feel lighter. There's this lightness so that you can just move forward with a lighter energy and a fresh perspective. The person that you're dealing with, your Pisces, is King of Wands. Oh, and that does not jive well with sensitive Pisces. King of Wands is staying very in the mental realm, right? Let's stick with the facts. The fact is this, this, and this. And the fact is that, and that. not allowing their heart to even make a grand appearance in any way, shape, or form. And you might be dealing with somebody who's very sort of matter of fact. And because of that, it's very hard for you to feel very grounded in it, right? The Queen of Cups is Gemini and Cancer. It's very hard for you to have this conversation about what you need to feel very secure in this situation, even though you feel it. You want to exercise that emotional intelligence where you're like, look, sit down. This is how I'm feeling. But you're feeling kind of back on your heels about something. The near future, we have the Hermit energy. So the Hermit energy in this relationship, right? Because this is, you guys are coupled, is sitting down and having a very honest conversation about the need to dedicate a lot more energy and a lot more focus and a lot more time to smooth over the issues that are showing up in this relationship. Right? Because if you keep doing what you did, you're going to keep getting what you got. And you guys are very, okay, we have to do things differently. We need to change our approach. But the final outcome energy is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is a moving on energy, and it can manifest mentally rather than physically, right? Some of you may sort of be in this space, and I'm keeping it real, Pisces, you're very good at doing this because you are all about the house of the hidden. You are the 12th house. You are about, that subconscious space. It's so comfortable for you to be in your own head in relationships that a lot of times you will actually think you said things or communicated things in a particular way that either weren't said or weren't communicated the way that you thought, right? Because you're so sensitive and you're so spiritual, like even if you don't realize how spiritual you are. And I'm saying that because you can be a Pisces with Virgo ruling your 12th house, in which case that spirituality would scare you. So I always want to give these little caveats, right? This is for the general archetype of Pisces, but is this energy of noticing that there is something toxic that you want to move away from. And again, because it can manifest more emotionally than physically, you might still be sharing a bed with that person, spending your day to day, but inside you're like, okay, I really sort of am not feeling this right now. So, look, for this short time period, I do feel like those of you in relationship, we have the Emperor energy. So somebody's coming in guns ablazing saying, this is what I think we should do, this, and this, right? The Emperor is Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, very much a me energy. I want what I want, the way I want it, when I want it. Come on, let's go. Let's get on this, get on this bandwagon with me. Let's go do this. But it ends up creating some sort of conflict in the situation, right? We have the King of Cups, which does indicate the need to settle conflicts, both within yourself and with your partner right now. And there's got to be some sort of commonality and common ground, right? You guys have everything that you need to figure this out. You have everything in your toolbox, right? This is an energy that supports growing the connection, but some of you maybe just straight up, maybe you need a vacation together. You might just need to go away, sort things out, right? To kind of sort things out, to just sort of bring it back down to ground. Not everybody can do that, but this does indicate that you have everything that you need to work something out. Clarifying the sun, though, why am I saying that? Is because we do have the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is personification of fire. Now, this is the thing. I feel like there's going to be some sort of conversation going on. There's going to be a lot of passion and desire to move forward, right? This is going to resonate with some of you. But it's almost like what gets worked out in the relationship and what gets worked out in the conversation of what needs to happen is sort of underwhelming for you. You're like, okay, all right, I'll deal with that. But, it's not what I expected. It's really not what I wanted. It's not, all right, but it's still appealing to you, right? Staying in the relationship is certainly still appealing to you to a certain degree for some of you. Others of you, what is making you feel this sun energy is this new cycle of passion. This new cycle of passion after settling a conflict, both within yourself and with somebody else. Now, what's clarifying that new cycle of passion here is the Judgment energy. Judgment is Pluto, endings and beginnings. The need to transform something. You're assessing the relationship and you're kind of transforming it into a new space. You're forgiving yourself for whatever happened in the relationship before. You're forgiving them for whatever happened, happened. And you guys are really trying to stay very future focused and do things differently and kind of turn your back on the past in a way, right? It's the Sun and Aries energy. It's one of the good fortune cards. This does indicate a wedding for some of you. For others of you, a very important relationship, really moving forward together to realize your plans, but in a very unconventional way. So you might be moving, you might be working out some sort of unconventional methodology to work out your relationships. Because maybe you guys were living together and now you won't be, or maybe there's some sort of long distance relationship going on right now, right? Just because of the way things are. But you guys just sort of sitting down and trying to figure that out. Then we have the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is about anxiety and depression and feeling very overwhelmed and not responding well to the external stress of what is actually really going on here. Now, for some of you, you're going to be able to get through things just fine, and you're going to be able to get over whatever past obstacles are going on here, and you getting what you want, thoughts becoming things. For others of you, you're going to realize that whatever this unconventional thing is here, or whatever is being asked of you, you're like initially, okay, in true Pisces fashion, but then you're like, oh my God, I don't think this is going to be good for me. I don't know. This is not going to go well for me. I'm too sensitive for this, whatever it is. No. I'm feeling just very uncomfortable. And this is you just saying, all right, you know what? I got to go. This is you being very open to changing your circumstances for the better. This is you being very mentally agile. And this is you being very, very honest. Because remember, swords are air. It's honesty, being very honest about what it is that you want moving forward. So I feel like a partner is going to be asking something of you, and you may initially say yes. And then you're like, well, wait a minute, I can't do that. No, I need to sit down and be honest with you. So it does seem like that, and again, keep in mind, just because of the energy that we're in right now in October, again, I'm not going to talk about the astrology, but I just want to say what's going on with Mars. Everybody's going to feel and be wondering, is this fair? Is this right? I don't know. Something to keep in mind for those of you in relationship. All right, so let's move on to those of you who are in separation. Those of you in separation, let's pull a couple of separation cards. You were the love of my life. I didn't figure that out now. I didn't figure that out before. Now I know this is true. I know we've been together in past lives. I recognize you. You were never a stranger to me. Wow. Beautiful. Okay. What's going on here? Clock, need time, takes time, in time cycles, time to heal and progress. And then we have the dragonfly, being lighthearted, finding out, things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. For those of you in separation, finding something out, adapting to the situation, change and heal. I miss the peace I used to feel with you before all of this. Let's focus on healing together. So Pisces, it does seem like somebody wants that with you, or you want that with them. These energies could always be vice versa, as is always the case with relationship reads, right? No, in relationship, things are just too enmeshed for us, for the energies to understand the difference. Okay, let's pull a Celtic horse spread for you guys. See what's going on. Where are you at? Page of Wands. Crossed by the Two of Cups. And some of you are like, the hell with it. I want to go and just do me and meet different people and be a free spirit, because we had that argument. But it's challenging you. It's eating you up inside. It's like you're saying, yeah, I'm down with it. All right. Let's pull everyone. Okay. Pisces, you're having a hard time getting past this person, right? We got the death and rebirth energy in reverse. but I see you really doing a final release, which is good. Coming into this energy, obviously, we got the card of pain, no shock here, right? I mean, this is heartbreak, pain of the truth, feeling betrayed. They could have felt betrayed. You could feel betrayed. Maybe you both did. But at least now the clouds of doubt are cleared, and all you could really do coming into this energy is face reality, and any confusion is gone. And at least, you bring yourself into a position to move on from whatever shock, whatever pain, whatever disappointment, whatever it was, to begin some real healing. And it's in doing that, right? Then we have the Page of Wands. Page incites a new cycle. Wands is will, passion, motivation. So you may be, like, I want to express myself. I want to meet new people. I want to do all of that, right? Because your challenge is, for many of you, we had this argument. For others of you who are in separation, Page indicates a new cycle, and Wands are passion, will, and motivation, right? Wanting to start a new cycle of passion with this person that you experienced this great pain with. But there was some sort of argument. There was some sort of discord, right? When this shows up as a challenge, this can indicate some sort of breakup, some sort of argument, anything like that ends up getting in the way there. But we have as the basis of the situation, we have the Eight of Swords, which is feeling very trapped. Feeling very trapped, feeling like things are never going to change. It ends up inciting a lot of anxiety. Oh my gosh, I have such a feeling. Oh my gosh, my heart chakra is on fire. It's very frustrated feeling. How do I articulate this? It's like there's a lot of anxiety about this person. And it's sort of like in your waking mind and in your sensible mind, you're like, everything is wrong with them for me. This is not a healthy energy for me, but yet you still want to be with them. And it's that push and pull. And it's the feeling like nothing's ever going to change. But I don't know how to work through this energy. And it's literally feeling trapped inside your own mind when it comes to this person. But you being in this space where you're very much Queen of Swords, trying to figure out the psychological motivations, what makes them tick, what's going on with them, what's their deal, what is their deal anyway, right? You're really trying to figure that out. And this is what Spirit wants you to look at, right? This is the advice card, what the recommended approach, what you need to look at. This is the energy you need to look at. So when we're talking about this, having in the reverse, you may be unwilling, right, to move past the situation that most likely has reached its expiration date, but you don't want to look at that. You're having a really hard time releasing something. And because of that, you're sort of falling back into like old patterns of behavior. So you just want to be careful of that, because this is really allow the release and just be super kind to yourself. As a result of that, allow the release. Because honestly, if it's meant to come back to you, it will. The energy that you're dealing with, we do have Judgment, which is Pluto, is about endings and beginnings, transformation. So I feel like the energy that you were dealing with, they're going through a lot of change themselves. But this is about, them being in a space of assessment and letting go of the past and making a decision about the past, and them spiritually in their own mind, very subjectively waking up to the reality of the relationship. Right now, some of them are really going to want to reconcile with you. Others of you are dealing with people who simply are working very hard to reconcile various things that came up in the relationship. But they're in the space of should I, shouldn't I as well. It's just the way it is. But they're in this space of thinking about what's fair, what's not fair. They're not really talking to anybody about it. Because the numerology, that's also the High Priestess and the Justice energy. So really looking at these things. But you're in this space, though, it's like you feel each other's energy. There's no question how you feel each other. Now we have the Seven of Wands in your challenge. You don't want to have to defend yourself. You don't want to have to do this. And this is a real challenge for you, because there might have been like an attempt at reconciliation where those plans ended up stalling out, or somebody quit. Maybe they quit, you quit, somebody quit. Like, the hell with this isn't going to work, right? That could be your psychological challenge, where it's like, all right, what do I do with that? But there's also, what this is also telling me, though, is there's a certain very almost palatable level of discomfort when it comes to your need to defend yourself. Like maybe you have to defend yourself, because nobody really has to, but maybe it will be appropriate. It's very uncomfortable for you, or you know that they have to go into the space to at least explain themselves, and it's like a block because you're not getting that. We have in the near future the Three of Pentacles, Mars and Capricorn. This is about collaborating, coming together to really focus on the future. Interesting. We have the Ten of Swords as the final outcome energy. Ten of Swords, again, the complete and painful ending. It's done as it was. Can't continue. We have the Knight of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Temperance, Queen of Cups. Very important. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I see, oh man, it's like the energy to protect self is amped up. Because there's a lot of energy of self-protection and trying to sit back and figure out a different strategy for approaching this relationship, even though there's this very strong desire to go in and sort of, you know, give this proposal. Let's do it this way. Let's try this. Let's try that. It's like, oh, you're very protective. You're trying to figure things out. This idea of Temperance and Queen of Cups, like what's necessary to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure in this energy where there's reciprocity of empathy and understanding, where you guys can like sit down and say, okay, we have what we need to get past that situation. You know, we have to sit and talk about that. What do you need? What do I need? What does the situation need in order for there to be the safety and security? But there's this very deep trepidation about it, where even if you guys were to have the conversation, everyone is so hyper vigilant and on hyper alert to protect self that I don't see it going very well right now. We have High Priestess being clarified by the Five of Swords, being clarified by the Knight of Swords. So High Priestess is about secrets. It's a moon energy. It's about your emotions, and it's about you feeling things internally. And more specifically, I mean, you're in this space where you're thinking about, you know, what was fair, what wasn't fair. Do you know what I mean? Like being in that space of allowing yourself to, that justice energy, right? And it's, I don't know. But not talking to anybody about it, but recognizing that the relationship and how things were going to be rolling out were not in alignment with what it is that you really ultimately wanted. And there was nothing that you could do about it. You couldn't mitigate their stuff. Maybe they couldn't either. Maybe this was because of where they lived, or maybe some sort of life situation that was going on. But recognizing that the reality of the relationship was not in alignment with what it is that you really wanted, needed, and desired. And truthfully speaking, there could have been some sort of dishonesty going on here, some sort of selfishness, either on your end or their end, or maybe a little bit of both. But I feel like this is a very secretive energy, right? I mean, the Knight of Swords always is, but it's this shocking stuff that ends up rearing its head in a very, expect the unexpected. Sudden truths coming out, epiphanies coming out. You can't keep things under the hood so much, right? So this is very much about expect the unexpected. Sudden truths coming out. This could be for some of you very validating, for others of you very confusing. It depends on where it is you're at. Three of Cups, though, is an energy of support. This is very interesting, because I feel like those of you in separation, at some point between now and the end of November, you guys are going to end up communicating, and it's almost going to be, please forgive me for saying this, almost immature the way you guys communicate, because there's so much emotion here, but there's so much self-protection. So it's almost like you first, no, you, well, you did this, well, you did that, no, everybody put those down, put that down. And have a Three of Cup conversation, which is all about healing. So I don't know. I don't know, my friends. That is what I have for you. For those of you in separation. So now let's go on to those of you who are single. single and ready to mingle, Pisces. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Make a plan. Mending. Oh, okay. All right. Now, I don't know if this is sort of piggybacking on those, for those of you who are in separation. So you're single because you guys are in separation. Yeah. Those are very self-explanatory, so I don't feel like I need to really address those. Not feeling like I need that. But the mending, I mean, even though there are two energies here in this card, it really could just be healing within yourself, you know, mending a heart, mending your broken heart. Could be mending bridges, though, could be mending relationships, but whatever it is, it's like, have a plan. Look at this. Oh, you're so ready. Will you look at that? Sun, beautiful. Beautiful. Well, let's see what your challenge is right now. Okay, your challenge is the King of Coins. So this is an energy of like, I don't know if I really want to change. I don't know if I, you know, because the King of Coins is a very hardworking energy. So somebody who definitely wants to be settled in relationship for sure. This can be an energy where they're a little funny with their money. This could be an energy where they're not very willing to change and make adjustments, right? So you're all about being happy, right? But because this is a single read, and I'm just going to focus this energy on you, you might feel like, you know, I want to go out there and date. I want to, you know, meet all the new people, but I'm really trying to save my money. Or, yeah, really, I want to go out there and I want to do A, B, and C, but you may be very dug in what it is that you're looking for, like looking for a very specific narrative and not willing to compromise if anything else comes up. Wow. Pisces. All right. I mean, please, the amount of, I know a lot of you hate when I say, like, I see growth here for you. I see, you know, positive stuff coming in that way because you maybe feel like garbage right now or you're nursing some pain. But this is the thing. Coming into this energy, you're very focused on, could be growing your money. You're like, look, if a relationship happens, awesome. But for the time, I'm looking to grow my money. I want to buy a home. I want to buy a business. Some of you are going to be in that space. Keeping in mind, this is for singles. So this has been where you're at, right? Focusing on the coin, right? Getting your ducks in a row, trying to deal with whatever happened in the past, whatever happened, whatever, been focusing on that. You are ready, right? You are ready. Sun, you're ready to just expand your life. The sun is life. The sun also rules Leo, and Leo is a landlord of the 5th house of romance, falling in love, love affairs, being friends with your partner, being creative, enjoying life. It's the house of joy. You're ready to be happy. But what is the challenge is this, again, King of Coins energy, this idea of greed in some way. Even though you want to be in that settled relationship, there's something that you're being challenged by, something that you're not moving off your mark. But the basis of the situation is the Tower. And again, because you're single, this isn't like a relationship's ending. I'm really understanding this is an internal Tower moment for you, Pisces, where you're realizing, wow, I need to just change up how I am in relationship and what I'm willing to do. I can't be so sacrificial anymore. Maybe I need to be a little more open. Maybe I shouldn't be quite so sensitive. Maybe I shouldn't open myself to people with addictions and all of these dysfunctional tendencies. Maybe I need to focus on developing a healthy connection, but that's got to start with me. I can't look to other people to bring health to my experience. I have to bring it to me. And then when I do that, then it ends up manifesting, right? And I feel like this is where a lot of you guys are, because then look at the current situation is the 6 of Swords. So some of you may be just totally focus on moving away from anything that's toxic, right? Toxic thinking, old toxic relationships, whatever would sort of fall within that umbrella for you, right? It's very subjective. You're all very different people, but there is this moving away. Really doing some beautiful work on yourself right now. That I know you guys don't like, a lot of you don't like, I get a lot of hate for that. Pisces, what do you mean? I'm fine. I'm working on myself. No, everyone has to grow a little bit. It's not like you get there and you stop. You say, all right, let me unpack my bags here. I'm good. Growth is always happening. It's always happening. And you're so blessed that you have this energy available to you. Advice, Queen of Wands, step into your power, Pisces. Step into your power. Don't allow anything from your childhood, from relationships that didn't work out, from any of these false narratives that might be running in your head that are just not true. Not true. Tell them where to go and really step into your power, because this is the thing. You know what's necessary to have a healthy relationship. You're doing the work on yourself. You guys have been working on yourselves. This is not, and again, it's not a one and done thing. So you're still in this space, but check it out. There is somebody right there who's new or returning, because it's a night. Emotions, love, connection. Who wants to come in and who wants to be with you. But you have to make sure that you're feeling the best version of yourself when this comes in, because your challenge is hanging on. Because we have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is showing up in your internal psychological block. And the Nine of Wands means, okay, I'm tired of going around and around. I'm tired of feeling like I need to defend myself and stuff. I'm tired of this, but you know what? I'm not giving up. I'm tired of it, but I'm not giving up on relationships. I still have fire in my belly, and I'm going to move forward and do this. This is your block. So your block is like, I'm tired. And I don't think I can do this anymore. I'm sick of the false starts. I'm sick of the delays. I'm just sick of things not going the way that I really want. And that is what I'm getting, what I'm seeing here is your psychological block. No negative talk, right? That's counterproductive. It's counterproductive. Because look at what's in front of you. I'm saying, look, and I didn't pull the screen down, but anyway, we have the Ace of Cups. New relationship. For some of you, if you are getting back with somebody, and I have to say that for some of you because we have make a plan and mending here. If you are, this is illustrating to me a ton of love and support and figuring stuff out. This could be coming together and getting married, having a baby, buying a home, moving in together, whatever it is, if you're reconnecting. Otherwise, this is falling in love with somebody brand new. And you're going to know, right? If there's no one where you would be like, hell no, from your past, this is a new energy. But what I like here as the final outcome is the Justice card. This Justice is Libra, and this is the seventh house of serious soul-connected relationships. And this is also about fairness. This is a Libra energy. Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus wants to know, how are you feeling in this? Are things equitable? Are they fair? Do you like how you feel? Are you getting what you need? So there's no martyr or anything here. There's no sacrificial anything. It's the scales. It's let's come up with a win-win situation. And you are not going to have it any other way. And I feel like that is the result of all of this growth that you've gone through up until this point. Go, Pisces, go. I am really excited for you. Yes. Let's pull some more. Knight of Coins. 10 of Wands. Lovers. Knight of Wands. King of Wands. Temperance. Thank goodness. Okay. Knight of Coins and 10 of Wands. Knight of Coins is being in this space where you're like, oh, you know what? This is a really good person that I met. I met a good person. They're solid. They're dependable. That, you know, they look great on paper. Maybe I'm even attracted to them, but it's like something's missing. I can't put my finger on it. Something is missing, and it's going to stress you out because you're going to feel like something's missing. You want to make sure that you're not like comparing to anybody from the past, right? I don't feel like a lot of you are, but you do always want to be careful of that with that. And that's going to end up inciting 10 of Wands, where you're like, look, this is going to be really, really hard for me to stick with. Like, this is something is really troubling me here. I'm very, very overwhelmed, feeling very, very like a lot of anxiety about this. This is overwhelming me. Is going to be for a lot of you. Others of you may be hearing from this person, Pisces, you work too much. What's going on? Right? Because the 10 of Wands can indicate what you're getting into a relationship, right? And you have all this stuff going on, crazy work schedule, stuff with kids, whatever. And it's like the attention that's necessary to grow the relationship, the time is not there. So the relationship ends up being ignored. But the thing is, you feeling this sense of lack, are you throwing yourself into work to avoid sort of engaging with the situation where you guys need to come together and really work things through together in the Lover's energy? Something to keep in mind. It just is something to keep in mind. As we have coming up the Knight of Wands energy. So this is about things being expedited. Something is happening here. You're stepping into some sort of new cycle. It's like if you've been feeling any sort of blocks or anything like that, things being lifted, which is really nice. Then we have the King of Wands energy. And the King of Wands is, yeah, I mean, you want to go in, you want to express yourself, you want to do all, stand your ground, speak your mind, be you, do you. But there's this lingering energy of, am I enough? Am I deserving of that love that I see in my mind's eye, of what it is that I want? Many of you are going to be experiencing that. Others of you are just in this space in your life where you're expecting things to be different. It's almost this element of perfectionism. So you may be looking for a whole lot, right, in a particular package when it comes to relationship. So then we have the Six of Swords energy, and that's being clarified by Temperance. Oh, Six of Swords was there already, so I digress. So we have the Temperance energy. Temperance, again, is that Hierophant energy and numerology. So I'm really feeling a lot of like needing to sit down and have a really serious conversation about who needs what, expectations, who needs to conform to what, how things need to be. Because it seems like you're going to meet somebody and get into a relationship and something's going to be a little off with them. Initially, it's going to be awesome. And then as time goes on, you're like, hold on a second. Something feels a little amiss, and you have to have that conversation, and recommend that you have it after Mercury gets out of post shadow. If you can hold off until end of October, beginning of November, awesome. Let these 4 guys come out of retrograde. It just goes to racks. So it's like, we could move. We can have positive conversation finally once and for all. So I don't know. That's what I see. I see some of you getting back with somebody, and I see some of you meeting somebody brand new, but it is all about making a plan and mending. And for a lot of you, you're going to be mending yourself. Making a plan, maybe you're going to therapy, maybe you're going on a retreat, maybe you're seeking some sort of hiring somebody to do some sort of shadow work with you, whatever the situation is. That is what I see. So my friends, I think this is a very ultimately positive read. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time when we talk about, with astrology thrown in, Scorpio the sun entering into Scorpio the last week of the month. Until then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.